As I sit here amongst these awards and degrees, I'm actually thinking that I'm no prodigy. In fact, I think I'm pretty satisfactory. But what I might lack in natural talent, I've been able to supplement with education and practice. I'm Brian Batista, and my friends call me Bunny, and I'm sitting in Atelier in a makeshift little library setup. And I have an art school degree beside me. It's yellowed and not quite aging as fine as a wine as I am. This is episode 92, Degrees of Practice. I wanted to make an episode about my pursuits after art school. This is a period when I started to do a lot of European travels and workshops and learning a lot more from books, trying to devise what it is that the big holes in my game plan that needed to be filled. And opening and running an atelier gave me the perfect umbrella in which to sit this framework for self-improvement. Through teaching, I would have further learning. I'm going to show you a bunch of my pictures from this time, but I want you to be aware that I had to edit out all the nudity, the boobs and private bits because YouTube is a little bit picky. And during the time that I was closed, I was doing a live stream, and I learned the hard way that they kept canceling the things that I was making. So if you stay to the end of the video, there will also be some links in the description below. I've got new things happening at the studio which may interest you. What I think you really need to do is put yourself in a place where you can attain your goals. For me, it was taking on the atelier and having more forced practice with a live model. I personally think drawing from life is the hardest thing, and I still struggle with it. But one of the things I learned from doing this practice was that the unglamorous side of all of it is that really what I was learning to do was time management. With life drawing, you only have so much time, and you're a stenographer of life. You're trying to have a shorthand to explain what you're seeing in the light. I wanted to live it and breathe it every single day. I wanted to be pushed in a pressure pot towards mastery that I couldn't back away from, that I always had to show up for, that I had to be confident and continuously improve. And with classes, you kind of always have to prove yourself. Most of the drawings that you'll see were under 3 hours. And with that amount of time, you really have to get the fundamentals in. Those being shape. Shape. Is this a torso? Is this a leg? That shape has a position and place within the composition. You know, you have your page vertical for portrait, horizontal, but most importantly that you can fit the subject in. That's the artist's job. A lot of people will start at the head and then the body kind of grows out like an amoeba, and then you have to shrink or elongate the extremities. A lot of people like to avoid drawing them all together. The thing that I've learned over the years from figure drawing is it really is a way to test what you know. I start drawing without my glasses, especially in short pose, and so the body is the inspiration, and it really shows the weaknesses in my plan of what I do and do not know, but also you have something to study from in front of you. It having 3 dimensions, it's easier to learn than from a book or photo, because you can kind of move around and look and get a sense of those shapes in space. The other thing about that first principle of shape is that you have your proportions. and the position. This also is a place where you describe perspective. And I like to always say that diagonals are what make your artwork dynamic. They draw the eye in and they create the illusion of distance. So that can be the limbs coming out towards you. That could be the stage the model's on. Or incorporating some of the background elements. Next in our plan of attack, we need to get at values. What is light and what is dark? And so we can describe with the bedbug line, the terminator, or the core, and cast shadows, the light side and the dark side. And it's these values in our drawings that help us show the depth and dimension of form. It's the illusion part. At first, with just shape, essentially you have a cartoon. But as you add the shading, you can lift the drawing up off of the page. The cast shadow describes the form it's falling on, and so you will start to have a chance to describe more than what you actually see in real life. You can work in such a way that you do less work, which insinuates reflected light, because you can show light by putting dark beside it. After values and in using the pencil, it starts to become very important to understand edges. And for me, edges are the hard thing that I've done a lot to study on. I went to the Netherlands to study Rembrandt to see how he used edges, and man, he was good. There are 4 edges. There's hard edges, firm edges, soft edges, and my favorite, the lost edges. And as you become more sophisticated in your drawing abilities, you are less sharp like a camera where everything is in focus, and you start to put in the lost edges where, although there might be 2 different colors, the values are the same. This almost gives you a sfumato look sometimes, but there's this balance in that you want to give lost edges to give the viewer a chance to be a participant in looking at your drawing, just like in real life. My eyes are in focus, but my ears are not. You can drive the focus within your composition with hardness and softness. And just like value, we have a range from light to dark. You can also have a range from soft to sharp. I hope that sharing some of the early works I did when I was first open and pictures of how the studio space is starting to thrive, you can kind of see the process and inner workings of what I'm trying to do. Now that you've made it to the end of the video, I also want to mention to like, share, comment, and subscribe and help that YouTube algorithm. But the other thing that this set that I'm sitting in has to do with is I have another YouTube channel, and that is for Atelier Artista. And on that channel, I recently made a video about the book club that I'm trying to start. I sort of put the life and art journey on this channel, and I put the more educational stuff that I'm going to use on the Atelier Artista website on the other channel, because I can link through there. If you haven't already checked that channel out and would like to, I just posted a video on the start of my new Bunnies book club, and I'd love for you to check it out. The information is in the description below. I'm gonna keep this video short. I'm sure while I'm editing it, I'm gonna see a lot of things that I wish I added, but let's hope not. Thank you so much for joining me. Ciao for now. Woo!